So when I talk to myself, I have less options than when I talk to someone else, because when we exchange our ideas or just some thoughts from the memories or anything like that, I can be triggered by something that my not opponent, some respondent will say, and then I can remember something absolutely new that was triggered by his saying, and it will be the moving from one memory to another memory, and I completely forgot about this memory that I just recalled within this conversation to some living person. And usually I can't get this effect while doing this monologue recordings to myself, because I can be triggered by some thoughts that occur during my talking to myself, but I can't get too far to some new area, to some new topic, because usually I try to talk about some particular topic during my recording. So this is the downside of this mono recording, but the plus side of this stuff is that I can talk on any particular topic I decided to describe, because my respondent can be not ready, cannot be ready, maybe the right variant, can, or my respondent may not be ready for the topic I want to talk about, and I need to find the topics that are suitable for our chatting. Okay, let's say chat. So I wanted earlier today I remembered Kung Fu Panda, the particular line when Uguay said to Shifu that the Dragon Warrior would bring the peace to the valley and to himself, to Shifu. And I decided to find this line in the Kung Fu Panda first animated movie. So I checked some episodes where Oogway took part, and then I retold them to myself, and it was an interesting experience, the way I retold the plot of Knocking on Heaven's Door movie, but with Kung Fu Panda it's more interesting thing, I think, because events are more fantastic, and the lines are there are fewer lines of dialogue in this movie, or these dialogues are quite short and slow, and there are lots of fight scenes, and I don't need to retell the fight scenes. That's alright, just to go with dialogues, and I can express these dialogues in the reported speech, and add something like, again, I don't remember the name of this profession, maybe, when the standard movie is voiced, is commented by some person who tells to the blind viewer what is happening on the screen, because blind viewer can hear the lines of dialogue, but he or she can't see what's going on the screen. So this commenter just describes what's going on the screen along the screen movie time. It's like the plot of the movie is described in some Wikipedia article. So it's quite an interesting way to practice my English speech, because it's not like recalling at all, because I didn't read the particular article in English beforehand. I just saw the movie with some English lines, and most of the time I will be describing the environment, the settings of this movie with my own words, with my own English vocabulary, though I can explain everything in Russian because it's my native language. It will take some time for me to find the correct words or some synonyms to describe what I want to describe in English, and because these settings are not my own thoughts, I can go with challenging myself to find the right words, because usually when you speak on your own, you try to use the simplest path, the easiest words, but my goal is to activate my vocabulary, what I listened to or watched during these 10 years of going into these English voiced movies, animes, audiobooks, just books and other stuff. And as I had found out, or maybe I have found out, learning to listen and understand English speech, creating thoughts from English speech, is not equal to expressing your thoughts in English speech, because I need because I think the neurons in my mind, in my brain, just got used to this one-sided link of translating the English words into the images in my head, into the ideas in my head, but to go in the opposite direction and find the right English words and English collocations for some thoughts that I have in my mind is absolutely separate task, and I need to practice it in separate way. So this is what I do right now. Okay, I watched several episodes from Kung Fu Panda, and now I remember them quite vividly because I watched them only in the morning, today in the morning, so I can retell all the stuff with some English vocabulary that I have. And let's go with this, or maybe let's go from the beginning. So in the beginning, Po had this dream, and dream was made as the cartoon when he came to the village as the strongest warrior, and and he defeated lots of animals around the village. All these animals were in the form of wolves, other guys, and then he was recognized by the five strongest warriors, and together they charged against the endless army of these enemies, wolves and other stuff. Then Paul was woken up by his, I don't know, stepfather, foster father. I'm not sure that foster father is the right word, but this goose who owned the noodle shop, noodle something. He wasn't his real father, so he told Po. Okay, Po was the big panda, yeah, and this goose told Po to come back downstairs because Po's bedroom was I think in the first floor. The first floor is above the ground floor. So Po went back to the ground floor. His father already cooked lots of noodles and served people who came to eat these noodles. Po said, the panda said that he had the dream, and he lied that he had the dream about noodles for the first time in his life, because he wanted his father to be his foster father to be happy. And his father didn't like Po spending time in this kung fu stuff. So yeah, Po just served the customers who came to eat to this shop with the noodles that his foster father cooked with the noodles. Okay, at this time, and all these events happened in the village, some village that where several types of animals lived, and they were pigs, geese, and rabbits. They were the peaceful villages. They just led their peaceful life, and obviously Po the panda was not the native villager. native dweller of this village. And this village was situated in the foot of a high mountain, and on the top of this mountain was Kung Fu. On the top of this mountain there was the Kung Fu temple, and the very long stairs led to this temple from the village. These stairs were made on the side of this mountain. So in the temple, Shifu, the red panda, who was the master of the temple at the time, he trained his 5 students, who were tigress, mantis, viper, monkey, and crane, and all of them symbolized one of 5 types of Kung Fu, which is the style of the tiger, the style of the crane, the style of the viper, the style of the monkey, and the style of the mantis. So he trained them, and then Shifu was called by his own master Ugwei, who stayed in the temple, but he was not in charge of the training. He just meditated there, and he remained the master of Shifu. He remained Shifu's master, and he remained Shifu's advisor on different questions, different issues. So Ugwei was the turtle. The turtle, when Shifu, the red panda, ran to the place where Ugwei, the turtle, meditated. Okay, Shifu asked maybe eagerly what happened and what had happened, and Ugwei answered that maybe the Ugwei answered with the question whether something should have happened for Ugwei, for Ugwei wanting to see his old friend. I try to speak in reported speech, and this may be not correctly grammatically, but the idea is as I try to express it. When Shifu was kind of relieved that nothing happened, Ugwei answered that he hadn't said that nothing had happened. So Ugwei explained that he had had a dream, and in this dream, Tai Lun, he was the snow panther, I think. The Tai Lun got free out of his prison, and he came back to the village. Shifu was very worried about this news or the dream, and he ordered one of the geese who worked in this temple to fly to the prison where Tai Lun was held, and said the guards to double the way they guard Tai Lun. Tai Lun was the Snow Panther, who was the previous student of Shifu. Yeah. Shifu, okay, and the reaction of Uguay at Shifu sending the goods to double the guards in the prison was that sometimes people tried to avoid something, avoid the fate, and they chose the road to the path to avoid this fate, and this path led right to this fate they were trying to avoid. Anyway, Ugwei said that it was time to choose the Dragon Warrior, because only the Dragon Warrior was capable to defeat Tai Lun and protect the village from his rage and his revenge. In the temple, at some place, there was a pond, and over this pond there was the statue of dragon that held in his mouth the Dragon Warrior scroll, and the one who would be chosen as the Dragon Warrior, he would get the access to this Dragon Warrior scroll, and when he read this scroll, he would obtain the infinite power of Dragon Warrior. Yeah, no one knew what was in this scroll, but the scroll waited for the real Dragon Warrior. So Ugwei said that it was time for the ceremony of choosing the Dragon Warrior, and this tournament for choosing the Dragon Warrior was announced. All the people ran upstairs to the temple from the village to see the tournament and to see the choosing of the Dragon Warrior. Ugwei should choose someone for this role, and poor the panda decided to go there too, but he was quite late with some issues. When he came to the temple, the doors of the temple were closed. He tried to climb over the walls. He tried to jump with the help of trees and other stuff, but he had no luck with it. But he was the huge fan of Kung Fu, and in his house, in his bedroom, he had all 5 figures of this Shifu's students: tiger, mantis, monkey, viper, and crane. Yeah, so he was eager to attend this event. He found found the chair and some firework stuff. He somehow attached fireworks to the chair, sat at the chair, and he believed that these fireworks would push the chair up into the air, and he would fly over the walls, and he would get to this tournament, the choosing of the Dragon Warrior. But he failed. Fireworks didn't work. and at the last moment, when he had no hope at all, the fireworks started to work, and he flew high above the temple, above the square where the tournament was, and all the chair was destroyed, and it turned into the ashes, and Po just fell from the high point in the air to the ground, to the center of the square, where Ugwei was choosing at that moment the dragon warrior from these 5 Shifu's students. So when Po came to his senses and opened his eyes, he saw that Shifu pointed his finger at him. Ugwei pointed his finger at Po. Po believed that Ugwei was wrong. Maybe he wanted to point at Tigress, but Po the panda just fell between them. So, but Ugwei said that he was pointing at Po, and he chose the panda, being the dragon warrior. Ugwei, the turtle, was surprised himself with this choice. He really didn't know who would be the dragon warrior, but he felt that the dragon warrior somewhere near this village. One thing that from this movie that I kind of forgotten, I have forgotten, when all the villagers ran upstairs to the temple, Po came to the foot of the stairs, and at this moment the camera switched to the temple itself, where Ugwei and Shifu talked about the tournament that was going to begin, and Ugwei said to Shifu that he didn't know who would be chosen as the dragon warrior, but Ugwei believed that this chosen one would bring the peace not only to the village but to Shifu itself. And after that, we were switched back to Po, who climbed up the stairs, and he was late to the beginning of this tournament, and I just described what happened then. But when Ugwei announced him to be the dragon warrior, the palanquin, I think palanquin is the international word, it came from India maybe, so it is what it is. This in English it may be called the stretchers from the ambulance, but it was the palanquin. 4 geese came and they brought the palanquin. When the panda sat into the palanquin, they failed to lift it up because panda was too heavy. So 4 pigs came and they lifted the palanquin off the ground, and then they took the palanquin inside the temple. Inside the temple, Ugwei was interested with the choice that the fate gave them, because according to the legend, the dragon warrior would come from the sky riding the fireball, and Po really fell from the sky after riding this firebox that had exploded in the sky above the temple. The tigress and other students apologized to Shifu for failing him, but Shifu believed that he would fail them if the panda stayed till next morning in the temple. So through the rest of the day, Panda participated in training of each of the students, of Shifu students, the training for crane, for the mantis, for the tigers, for the monkey, and for the viper. He was badly injured, but he liked it because it was his new experience, and he kind of tried everything that each one of his heroes of Kung Fu did every day on training basis. So then in the evening Shifu said that Shifu showed the panda that he hated him, and then other students showed the panda that they hated him. The tigress was the most hateful person, but other guys were just neutral because they had not expected to be chosen as the dragon warriors. They thought that the tigress would be the dragon warrior because she was the strongest warrior of all of them. But when Panda was chosen instead of her, she was kind of frustrated, and she told him that he was in the wrong place. He didn't belong to this temple, to Kung Fu in general. So Po was upset, and he came to some peach that grew on the cliff, and he sat there and ate the peaches from this tree. Then Guei, the turtle, came to him. Guei said that that he was surprised that Po had found the sacred peach of wisdom, and Po apologized that he ate lots of peaches from this tree because he thought that it was just the ordinary peach. And then he told Guei that everyone hated him, Shifu and the students, because he was fat, because he didn't belong to this place. And Shifu gave him some advice, like Po was too concerned about the future, about the past. And Gui's line was like, in the reported speech, of course, yesterday was history, and tomorrow was a mystery, and today was a gift. That's why it was called the present. And this advice gave Po some power to train even harder. So for the next morning, he was found by Shifu and his students somewhere in the training grounds. Yeah, then Shifu fought against Po himself, because Po didn't want to give up and go back to his village, to his noodle shop. And Shifu wanted just to make Po quit all this stuff, and then waited with his students until Uguay sometime later would make another tournament to choose the real Dragon Warrior out of over his students. Yeah. So when Po fought with Shifu threw him out of the doors of the temple, and the panda just bounced over the of these steps and fell downstairs, I think, to the foot of these stairs. And in the evening of the second day, Po being the Dragon Warrior, the guys like Mantis made some needle therapy on Po's, because he was kind of damaged. He had the damage from this falling from on the stairs. So what? The Mantis put some needles into some special points on Po's body, and the Viper helped him by holding the book from which the Mantis got the right spots to pin with his needles. Then the Tigress came and she explained the story behind Master Shifu, the Red Panda, and Tailan, who was the prisoner, who was the Snow Panther. So Shifu found baby Tailan at the door of this temple, and this baby Snow Panther was abandoned by someone. So Shifu trained him to be the greatest warrior. He allowed Tailan to behave the way he wanted, and in the end, Tailan had believed that he was the chosen one to get the Dragon Warrior Scroll. But Uguay, the master of Shifu, he didn't feel that Tailan was the right person. So when Shifu couldn't fight against Tailan, because Shifu always saw Tailan as his kind of first baby. For him, Tailan was always this small baby whom Shifu trained to be the greatest Kung Fu warrior. So Tailan defeated Shifu, and Uguay was the one who stopped Tailan. He kind of pressed special points on the body of Tailan and put him into some state like coma. Then Tailan was put into this prison that was situated somewhere in the Snow Mountains, and it was guarded by the rhinoceros. Lots of very rough, strong guardians, in the helmets with the I don't know, with the X's, I think. Yeah, that was the story behind their relationship, and the tigress told the story to Po, and when tigress was the student, was Shifu's student from the age that was the same as Talan's age, when he started his training, Shifu just didn't pay attention to her. He just kind of corrected her and went away without putting his heart into the training, because Talan betrayed him, because Shifu failed Talan, so he didn't want to train anyone wholeheartedly to be disappointed again. So yeah, and well, that bird, that goose, that was instructed to say the guards to improve the protection of the prison, he reached the prison eventually. He ordered, told this order to the master of this prison, and the master of this prison, maybe the strongest rhinoceros, he took the goose to the bottom of this prison, because the prison was like a huge deep pit, and on the bottom of this pit, Talan was tied, chained to the walls. So yeah, he showed that Talan was chained very tightly. Then this rhinoceros announced to Talan that the dragon warrior was chosen in the village, and they just moved back to the surface, when one feather from this goose fell on the ground near Talan, and the snow panther, or maybe snow leopard. Okay, the snow leopard used this feather with his tail and freed himself from all the chains. And then he came to the surface of this pit, defeated all the guards, or the rhinoceros, and he took this goose, told him to say Shifu, that the real dragon warrior, was coming home, and let this goose fly. Yeah, and of course he started his way back to the village, because goose could fly over the mountains. He was much quicker than the snow leopard. So when he came to the village, to the temple, he he announced this news to Shifu, and Shifu ran back to Uguay to announce all this news. Well, I think, or maybe no. This is a very interesting scene, so I'm going to retell it as well, and after that I will stop my recording. So Shifu the red panda meditated in this temple, somewhere in this temple, when he heard the flipping of the wings, and he saw that this goose came back. Shifu was kind of glad, and he asked the goose to give him the good news, because Shifu was frustrated with this the dragon warrior choosing ceremony. And Goose told him the news about Tai Lun being freed from the prison, or maybe being freed from the prison. Okay. And Shifu ran to Ugwei the turtle. Ugwei was near near the same near the very tree where this turtle had found the panda earlier. So yeah. So Shifu had a long conversation with Ugwei. He said that he had bad news. Ugwei said that the news just neutral. The news were just neutral and bad, and whether they were bad or good, people had decided with their emotions. When Shifu explained that Tai Lun had escaped from the prison, Ugwei the turtle was kind of frustrated, kind of with in the lost, but he suggested that these news were bad until if they didn't believe that the dragon warrior could stop Tai Lun. Shifu argued that Panda couldn't stop anyone, and Ugwei suggested that maybe, somehow they changed the topic to this peach tree, when Ugwei said that Shifu wanted to control everything, and he should just let go of this control. And Shifu believed that even if he couldn't control lots of things, he could control, for example, where the fruit could fall when he hit the peach tree. Lots of peaches fell on the ground, and one peach fell on his head, and that made Ugwei laugh. And Shifu said that he could control where to plant this tree. He made where to plant. Yeah, he made a hole in the ground and put the peach core into this hole in the ground. But Ugwei answered that Shifu couldn't make let's say cherry or fir tree grow out of this peach tree core or kernel. Okay, seed, maybe peach tree seed, peach seed. So we concluded that maybe the peach tree could defeat Talon, if Shifu put enough love and heart into training this peach tree the right way. And at this point, Uguay said that his time had come. He gave his cane to Shifu, and he said that first he made Shifu promise him that he would believe into the panda, into Po being the dragon warrior, and Shifu answered that he would try. And with this, Uguay just stayed on the cliff, and with the petals from the blooming peach tree, he kind of faded into the petals and into the night sky. This way he died. But he said that the rest was up to Shifu and his students. And with this, Shifu became the master of this temple, and he became responsible for training Po to be the dragon warrior and to defeat Talon petals. I think the right word for these small things that were blown by the wind from the flowers on the blooming peach tree, this word is petals. Okay, so yeah, this is the end of these cool scenes with Uguay, where he said lots of wise ideas, and I really like this stuff. And all other cool scenes and wise scenes will be between the panda and the red panda and the other students. So for now, I think I'll stop with this talking. It was quite interesting because I always have the ideas what to talk about. I didn't need to think what to say next. My task was to find the right words to describe the ideas, because I always have some ideas in front of my eyes that I wanted to describe, because this movie is quite simple and its simplicity makes it so cool and so ready for rewatching, even after the next 3 movies were produced. And really, I watched the second movie and the third, and I didn't like them that much, so that I would rewatch them again in the future or in general. So the first movie, Kung Fu Panda, had a quite simple plot, but it was really powerful, and it continues to be really powerful. And on this happy note, I'll stop my recording for today.